Okay. Yes. Hindi mo
Okay.
naramdaman na
Hindi ko naramdaman na there was no hint of intimidation. It's like everybody was free to speak.
mm,
So nag-hold kami ng teaching, magpe-present yung consultant. Um, it the entire vibe, the entire atmosphere was like as if wala, kwentuhan lang.
mm,
And then you can answer freely and you can ask questions freely. You won't feel as if you have a stupid question that they would look down on you. No, every question seems to be valid. So, you appreciate the cases that they have, the variety. And at the same time, medyo parang madaling makipag-usap eh. So, maganda yung
mm,
palitan ng
mm,
information.
mm. So,
So, it was,
nakaka-focus ka ngayon sa patient care.
no, and when I was in Singapore, doon ko nakita yung extent ng patient care eh.
Mm,
May mga outpatient na allied health
mm,
professions and
mm,
agency. May social worker ka, PT, OT, standard.
mm,
Dito, parang meron pa eh, ang daming agencies eh.
mm,
Pero they cater to more of those with nursing or geriatric issues.
mm,
Pero iba-ibang klase, daming pangalan. So,
mm,
naral ko rin yun. Pero ano sila, parang, so anong plano natin? Paano natin pauwiin to?
mm, mm,
Yung sitwasyon nito sa bahay.
mm.
Na,
So,
I mean,
holistic. Holistic.
holistic. Yes, holistic. Pero mas they're into it na kailangan alam mo yung sitwasyon ng pasyente talaga sa bahay.
Mm,
Kasi pwede namang alam mo eh, pero hindi
mm,
mo masyadong didibdibin na
mm,
ayusin. Dito
mm.
inaayos nila.
That's
So,
great.
na-appreciate ko yun about them.
That's great. Amazing. So, we'd like to introduce you properly.
Sige, sige.
And but before I introduce you, we'll just have an introduction of why we're doing this, and we'll welcome the 12 participants tonight. Thank you for making time for this Zoom interview of Dr. Edwin. I'm Dr. Vanessa. You can call me Vanessa. I'm here in Perth, and Dr. Edwin is also here in Perth. I've been here in Perth, Western Australia for 18 years. I arrived here January 2005, and I stayed here as I retrained, not really retrained, upskilled as a radiologist and then a breast radiologist. So the main purpose of this interview is to inspire you to dream big and to hopefully motivate you to, dream big dreams and to have, inspiration and motivation based on Edwin's experience as our service registrar who just arrived here in Perth 1 month ago. So really fresh lang ang pagdating niya, and I'm curious about your perspective. You already started your positive experience here in Perth, and so we'd like to know more about you so that it will enlighten them that it can be scary to start a new life overseas, but it can still be rewarding and fun and enjoyable. So I'd like to properly introduce you, Edwin. So your previous job in Manila as an internal medicine diplomate working at at Makati Med Wellness Healthway. And then you went to Singapore National Heart Center as a cardiology clinical associate for 5 years and working as a cardiology resident physician for 5 years. Is that right?
Yes.
And then,
Tama po.
then we actually connected in June when I went to Singapore. We met somewhere, I cannot remember, sa kainan. We
Yeah.
met with 4 other Filipino doctors, and
Yeah.
we exchange ideas. And at that time, you already told me that you already passed your AMC1 and that you already applied for work at Charlie's. Yeah. And then we just stayed connected. And then now, he just arrived 1 month ago as a General Medicine Service Registrar at Sir Charles Gairdner Hospital in Western Australia. So, welcome, Edwin. Thank you for making time for this Zoom interview, and really appreciate you coming on board. And thank you for keeping your promise that you're gonna
And thank
share
you
your
rin, Doc.
experience.
Yeah, your interview was something, I was a bit alarmed na parang, uy, parang maraming manonood. It seems like you have a lot of viewers in your YouTube channel. Um, yeah, and thank you for keeping in touch. Thank you for connecting me with Doc Henry and the rest of the other Filipino doctors in here in Perth. I'm hoping I get to join you in one of the gatherings,
Mm.
and hoping to meet Dr. Henry as well. Um, ayun na. Pero Doc, can I just greet a couple of people?
Yeah,
Mandatory greeting lang.
sure. Go
Yeah.
for it.
And syempre, I mean, hindi tayo darating sa point na may interview tayo if it weren't for certain people. Of course, unang-una, I'd like to say thank you and hello to my wife and son and nanay tatay ko. Sige, hello. And of course, yung mga doktor na kasabay ko na lumipat din from Singapore to Australia, they're probably potential candidates for interview. We have Dr. Ana Borja, Dr. Lily Dakay, Dr. Chris Cortez, who is in Tasmania. So these doctors have been in touch with me. I've been communicating with them, and they've been helping out with the transition. So, they can be potential influencers and inspiring people for our young doctors in the Philippines. No, you may want to look them up. And of course, siguro we got connected because I'm very active with this particular group of doctors, Filipino doctors who partake in monthly examinations in AMC, and they have preparations. Meron kaming mga MCQ group sessions na ino-organize. And we've been doing this for a year. And just today, we have another set of, I'd just like to congratulate three doctors who were announced to have passed today. Dr. Selena Marie Wong, Dr. Janilyn Reyes, Dr. Mags Jimenez, from our MCQ group session.
Right.
Congratulations sa kanila. Pero ito lang, Doc, sorry, kailangan ko talagang sabihin lahat
Go,
ng ito.
go.
Kasi ito mga to, nagtiyaga, nagtrabaho, nag-aral, ginawa nila lahat para pumasa. They dreamed big. And so that we can let other Filipino doctors know na pwede kang pumasa, pwede kang maging pangalan na pwedeng i-congratulate in the future because, they can do it, you can. All right?
Yes,
So,
agree.
we have Doc Jen Ray from November, myself nung March, Doc Renia Ann Carmela Feliciano, Vanessa Ernie. Vanessa, hello.
I can see her there.
Doc Jamie Sebastian. Then in April, Doc PJ Kanko, Joy Narciso Nanep, Dr. Milan Nanep, June Acelia Dominguez Miguel. May, we had Dr. Jem Gavina, Dr. Trish De Jesus, Doc JC Dunga, Doc Catherine Fabros, Doc Charmian Villarosa. In June, we had Doc Joyce Ruyeras, Doc Crisabel, yan, napakasipag niyan. Taga-Perth din yun, Doc. And she just got a offer
Oh,
today.
sa Joondalup.
Yeah, so
Yes,
good
I
news.
found out as well today.
Yeah, magpapakain ata si Doc Isabel soon.
Can't wait. I met her sa Perth gathering.
Yeah,
Wala ka
so,
kasi, hindi ka naka-attend eh. I
oo
met
nga,
her.
sayang. Yun.
That's okay.
And
Yay,
tapusin
amazing.
ko lang. July, Dr. Beatrice Ann Padilla, Dr. Brandon Torres, you're the man. Dr. Brian Ines, Chesmar Macapala, Christine Jimenez, Christian Bagang, Camille Rosales, Dr. Glezel Barsham, Jen Bayogan, Dr. Neil Olivares. Dami. Grabe.
Dami na natin. Very good.
Dami.
Ang dami pa
August,
na-inspire.
Dr. Mickey Lee, Dr. Vince Calalang, Dr. NJ Pabilona. September, ito pa, napakasipag nito mga to. Dr. Chairoy Dari Agustin, Dr. Kim Lim, Isaiah Chupelines, Dr. Kim Yu, Dr. Ikong Villanueva, and then yun na. And then we have just one last batch of exam takers for November. They're taking it this week. So, malaking grupo din yun, Dok. Napakasipag ng mga doktor. Dr. Christian Bocal, Dr. Ting Ticon, Dr. Meryl Pagunuran, Dr. Chris Nubla. So, ayun, as
Galing.
promised, I will mention all their names because they really worked hard. No, I mean, they deserve what they deserve all this. No,
Gusto mo na rin ba i-plug yung group chat group mo para makakasali yung mga participants dito ng mga nagre-review for the AMC? Meron ka bang
well,
group? Saan ba
meron
yung group na yan?
merong mother chat, merong mother group chat, pero from there, parang ginagawa ko lang siyang hub para magsama-sama yung for that
Mga
month.
okay.
Tapos sila na yung mag-organize ng
Yan yung
sarili.
kay Nick Tal na group?
Hmm?
Yan yung kay Dr. Nick Tal na group chat o different
Hindi,
group?
hiwalay siya, Dok eh.
Dun sa
Pero
Filipino-Australian?
minsan may mga nanggagaling doon sa group na yung FB group na ano ng Doctors for Australia, ni kay
Oo,
Dr. Nick Tal.
oo.
Salamat din pala doon sa mga yon, Dr. Nick Tal, si Doc Mark. Um, ang galing ng ginawa nila, no?
Mm,
And it was also instrumental kasi doon ako nakahanap din ng mga study body. Tapos kaya ako patuloy na ginagawa yon na
amazing.
hanap nila yung mga study bodies nila. And then kung ano man yung mga napulot namin from 1 month, we pass it on to the next.
Wow, amazing. So yeah, so would they be able to follow you or to know where to find you so that makakuha sila ng study buddy?
Yung i-PM lang nila ako sa ano
Sa
sa Facebook.
sa group ko no, nandun ka
Oo.
naman eh. Oo, sige.
Oo.
Very good. All right. Now, thank you. That's very inspirational, and congratulations to everyone who passed their AMC. And then on to the next chapter, applying jobs and starting a new life here in Australia. That's very good. You're amazing. Congratulations to you. This is your way of giving back, and that's why nabiyayaan ka. Hundredfold ang blessing sa iyo dahil marami kang natulungan.
Tinulungan din naman kasi ako ng mga before me.
Yeah. So
Uh,
yes, that's why we're doing this video. I'm inspired by the group of Dr. Nick Tal and the other Filipino groups and WA groups kasi nung I started here in Australia 18 years ago, I don't know anyone. Konti lang mga nakilala kong mga Pilipino at that time, and I don't know who to ask, who to talk, what to do. So I felt lonely and scared, and we don't know what to do. Kaya this is my giving back because I experienced challenges na walang nag-guide sa akin, wala akong role model, walang inspirational people na who were like us now here. Now that we have bigger group na, so the goal of this is to inspire you na it is doable, achievable. As long as you said, work hard and focus on the big goal. So let's start about your journey. For example, nasa Pilipinas ka na, you're working already as a consultant, right? What happened? What made you decide to go to Singapore?
Ah, so I was with Makati Med as an IM diplomate. Nag-work ako doon sa, usually pagka-graduate ka ng IM, you end up as a primary care physician eh. So yung mga screening, yung mga health screen, executive checkups, minsan sa employee clinic. So I was with Makati Medical Center Health and Wellness Clinic or Center for some time. And typical jobs na moonlighting jobs, no? Nag-healthway naman ako as a primary care din, IM, alongside with other family medicine grads. And then nag-try ako mag-clinic with a batchmate from med school in Cavite. And then I had also some call center clinic jobs, yun yung sa gabi. I mean, if you do a night shift, extra pera yun eh. So, extra cash. So basically, that was what I did for 2 years. And money was there, it's flowing in. And yung misis ko noon, girlfriend ko pa lang, was planning to marry her, get married eventually. I used the jobs to save up. At the back of my head, it was a difficult part of my career kasi naramdaman ko yung hirap na magsimula. You know, money is there, but you have to work so hard to get it. Back then in 2011, 2010, around that time, ang per hour was 200 something to 80. Parang $300 less, 300 pesos less tax, 200 something lang. Sometimes they won't give you the full day. So talagang, you know, you look for long hours and you drive around Manila, Cavite, Las Piñas. Las Piñas po ako eh. So Las Piñas, Manila. So I'd go to Malate and go to Makati, go to Cavite.
Lagari.
Lagari po talaga, no? But, you know, you feel at the end of the day, pag na-accumulate mo na yung sweldo mo, parang, mabubuhay ba ako nito? And then, di syempre, nag-iipon ako pang kasal ko at the same time trying to meet yung monthly expenses ko as an individual. As an individual pa lang yun, as a single guy. Parang, napapanganga ako eh. Kasi parang, bakit nauubos? And then, hindi naman ako extravagant. I mean, I don't buy new clothes or anything. And then, there was one point na lumalagari ako na within that 1 hour, sasaksakan ako ng 10, 15 pasyente. Papasok mo yung kakausapin mo within 1 hour. And there was a time na after that clinic, nagpaayos ako ng iPhone. Ano, second-hand na iPhone 4S. Pinayos ko dun sa repairman ng telepono. Di ba yung sa Malate marami nun. Parang one whole complex sila. There's like tons of them doing it. So I had a speaker issue. I had it fixed. He opened it up. Kinalikot lang ng konting speaker. Placed the screen back. Maluwang lang yung ano, boss. Maluwang lang yung something. Then, okay, so it works. And magkano po? 900. And then it just hit me. Parang, and that was also the time that the BIR was cracking down. They were becoming vigilant towards doctors who were evading taxes. And naramdaman ko na parang kung kailan naman ako nagsisimula, saka nyo kami pinaginitan sa tax. And wala man lang government support on education or information for taxation.
Mm.
Hindi naman yan course sa school nung araw eh.
No.
Di ba? And nakaka-pressure kasi magki-clinic ka and then daming mga papeles sa BIR na pinagagawa. I mean, willing naman ako magbayad ng tax. So I had to like waste certain days just to make these arrangements. And going back to that iPhone repairman, with that particular incident with BIR and that situation, and then plus having this iPhone repairman who was probably a technical school graduate, a chinelas, asked me for 900 to just open up a phone. And then you realize na I've been looking at the lungs, I've been looking at the abdomen, I've been looking at the heart, I've been looking at the skin. I get 200 something per hour. And this guy opens up the phone. Kakalikot lang ng konti. A non-living thing, an iPhone. He gets 900 pesos? And bakit hindi siya paginitan ng BIR?
Obviously, hindi.
Diba?
Siguro hindi naman nagbabayad sila rin ng tax, ano?
Yun nga, Dok. Pero siyempre, I mean, sige, ako doktor siya, siguro marami rin siyang pinapakain.
Oo.
Hindi ko na lang susumbong. Kawawa naman eh. Pero it just hit me na parang, bakit ganun?
Okay.
So that was a trigger. Naghanap ako ng trabaho elsewhere. Then there was a classmate of mine. He was a LaSalle graduate. Schoolmate from high school. We were batchmates in high school. Dr. Maynard Sibayan from LaSalle na nagtatrabaho na under cardiothoracic department ng heart center. Sabi niya, we're looking for clinical associates here for cardiology. So that led me to Singapore.
That's amazing. So you went to Singapore. Your partner also, you probably in the interval you got married whilst in Singapore or before Singapore.
Yeah, before that.
Yeah. And then you both started your family in Singapore. Comfortable generally in life mo sa Singapore. I assume you're earning more than 900 pesos per hour. Now, when you were in Singapore, right? And everybody happy. So, bakit ka nag-AMC1? Ba't ka nag-dream ng Australia?
Hindi kasi yung original plan namin talaga ng misis ko. Tsaka wala, go. 200 per hour, 200 something per hour, 300 pesos per hour. Paano ko makakabayad ng AMC noon? Diba? So, Singapore at the beginning wasn't easy as well. Because it's a very fast-paced country. Everybody's tired, everybody's stressed out. The patients are stressed out, the relatives are stressed out. But I'm not saying no one's, there's some nice people. Pero sa hospital, everybody's a little uptight because there's tons of work to do. But I'm thankful for Singapore kasi yung Singapore, forward-thinking sila eh. The Commonwealth country set up, medical system, they gave me the right exposure. And since Heart Center was under SingHealth, SCGH, PGH equivalent, kumbaga, lahat ng kaso nandun. So, sa Singapore, baliktad. If you want the best and the experts to handle the case, you send them to SGH. It's a private. Okay? You have money, you go private. If it's a little too complicated, you bring them to the center, which is under SGH. That's what I observed. No? I'm not saying the private, they aren't good. They are good. It's just that yung mga nasa private, galing din ng SGH. So, pagka medyo mahirap yung kaso, papadala na nila dun sa specialty center talaga. Which is usually under the government.
So, it took you 5 years na mag-ipon? for AMC or because you were just lagari ka rin sa Singapore?
And then, Singapore somehow opened up some options for me. I tried to secure yung MRCP
Maganda
exams.
yon.
Oo, so para UK credential ba? I failed twice. Nag-try din ako mag-USMLE noon. Pumasa, but it wasn't impressive enough to compete with other examinees na pag nag-apply ka sa hospital. So, within that 10-year period or 8-year period, siguro tatlong in-exam ko. Pero at the same time, parang hindi namin ma-ascertain ng asawa ko na kasi we were also pushing with immigration via her job. So we were hoping na through her line of work, that's how we can get a visa nomination or some offer. And we waited. No? And during that time, parang nag-aaral ako, tapos kami lang dalawa, wala pa kasi kaming anak. So parang I had to stop pursuing all the exams kasi dalawa lang kami eh. Siya rin nagtatrabaho. Parang ganito lang ba tayo? Pag-usapan namin na are we just going to work? Are we just going to earn money? You know, we want to live life a little, be husband and wife, go around, enjoy. So I took a break from studying. The only thing I studied for was yung time na pagdating ko ng 4th or 5th year, yung center ko, they offered yung staff registrar scheme. It's like a diploma course for your subspecialty. And it's necessary for you to take it. It's mandatory actually, because if you don't take it and you're stuck with the rank of a clinical associate, which is basically a medical officer's job, 5 years maximum lang yun. Pag hindi ka nag-training under that registrar scheme, tatanggalin ka.
Okay.
And dami naming sinusuportahan kami mag-asawa. Nanay, tatay ko, I had to support them. My mother has she has a long list of chronic condition. Ngayon, yung mother-in-law ko rin. So yung mga nanay namin, kailangan namin suportahan. Hindi namin pwede basta-basta, we can't stop working. So we had to work. And then, we focused on having a baby. So, siyempre, paano ka magbubuntis kung aral ka ng aral? So, tumigil muna ako for a while. And then, when my son was born, natatapos ko na rin yung staff registrar scheme training ko. Parang everything was a little bit better. And yung mother-in-law ko, she was with us in Singapore.
Sorry, nalobat ako eh.
Sige lang
Okay.
daw.
Yeah, okay na.
Fine.
Pinaksa ko na. Okay?
So, yung mga personal difficulties ko noon, naganak muna kami. So, it took me that long. And then, nung nandun na yung anak ko, okay na siya. I mean, happy na kami, pamilya na kami. Magkakasama na kasi kami noon, mother-in-law ko, ako, misis ko, anak ko. So, it was a lot less lonely. We were happier. Sabi ko, since
Manageable ang life.
Yeah. And then, sabi ko, magsasampung taon na, can I try the Australian exam one more time? I just try one more exam. I failed 3. Can I just try one more exam? So this story is something I always tell all the young ones who are afraid of failure.
Yeah.
I think they should try and just accept the fact na in order for you to win, You have to lose at some points. It may be several points of failure before
Yeah.
you actually get the win. I mean, you just fail, fail, fail. You'll win eventually.
Yeah. Try and try until you succeed, di ba ang motto?
Oh, yun na nga. Yun na nga, Doc. Kaya eto, nag-uusap tayo kasi nag-try ako eh.
Very good.
Eh, dami ko rin kasi nakakausap ng mga bata na fresh grad, walang residency, and they're afraid.
Mm. Mm.
And yet, I think we know a few doctors who are fresh grads who
Yeah,
now,
I met
yeah.
a few of them already here in Perth, a few of them in Adelaide.
See, it can happen. Now, all you have to do, um,
Is sit the
kaya,
AMC1 exam. Study
yes,
and sit the
AMC1
exam.
exam.
Yeah.
The AMC1 exam, just like what I normally tell everyone is, they ask me what's the best approach. Pinakaunang sinasabi ko, backbone.
Mm.
Kaya I have never passed an exam dahil wala akong formal review or review
Mm.
center or
Mm.
review group.
Mm.
Okay? Kaya rin ako bumabagsak dun sa mga exam ko noon. It was all do-it-yourself studying, which sometimes is, I mean, it's a quick way, it's an easy way, it's an introvert's way,
Convenient way. You don't need
convenient way. Kasi oras mo, you don't feel
pero
good.
wala kang accountability.
Exactly. And eh, I didn't do so well.
Mm.
So when I started to prepare for AMC, nag-start akong maghanap ng review center. I asked around. I saw Amex.
Mm.
And then there were some Filipinos who had testimonials and reviews. I spoke to them. Sabi nila, okay naman. Kausapin mo si Doc Isa Ibarola, blah, 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 message her. Then from there, nagtanong ako. And that's it. If you want to know how much Amex costs, it was around 50,000 pesos. Something 53, 55.
Mm. Mm.
Uh,
Dati.
well, again, yung mga fresh grads na walang trabaho, don't be afraid na mangutang and mag-invest.
Agree. Nangutang din ako papunta dito.
Diba, Doc?
Wala akong
Kailangan,
pera rin noon.
siguro, it's how we offer ourselves dun sa mga pwedeng mag-finance ng expenses natin.
Mm.
Sabihin nyo, for example, na please invest in me. Baka ako, mabayaran ko rin kayo pag nandun na ako. Parang ganun. I mean, hanap ka ng ninong mo, ninang, hanap ka ng kamag-anak mo overseas na suggestion ko lang naman to. I mean,
Yeah. This is your journey. You're just sharing what you did.
yeah. I
And it
mean,
does agree with you, it takes a village to where you are now. It took a
yeah.
village for me to be where I am now. And
Yeah,
it's still there. Yeah.
you really have to ask people for help, and that help sometimes it's in the form of money. There's no, it's
Nakakaya, pero,
I mean, yung hihingan mo naman, kailangan lang nilang maintindihan na
yeah.
meron naman pong return of investment.
And the
Minsan,
people
yeah,
who help you are your cheerleaders and you're actually genuine supporters.
oo, pwede naman gano'n. Wala nang ROI, pero ako parang sinasabi ko sa kanila na invest in me po. And then when the time comes na kailangan nyo, I won't be paying you in peso. I'll
Mm.
be paying you in a foreign currency.
Naks naman.
Yeah. That's
I
something
love it.
that I would have made that approach, Doc, kasi
I love it.
you want them to invest in you. Diba?
Ang galing.
You want them to invest in you. Parang yung mga nakikipag-usap sa akin, Doc, tulungan mo ko.
Yeah.
Okay. Desidido ka ba? Yun lang naman gusto kong malaman eh.
Mm.
May schedule ka na ba? Or ikaw ba hihingi lang ng mga recalls at copy ng ganyan at wala na? I mean,
May game plan ka.
Yeah, you have to come to me. You have to be decided. You have to have a game plan. I'll
Mm.
help you with your game plan as long as I know that you want and really want help and that you're decided. Kasi ang dami pa rin ng mga magtatanong pero hindi naman sila decided.
Yeah.
So, yung
It's for the Australian dream, if you don't mind me interrupting. For your Australian dream, it's either you're all in. If
yeah.
you're not all in, marami kang failures. Yeah. Katulad niyan, yung pag-aaral, ikaw lang, wala kang support or hindi ka nagre-review
Mm,
school. So, it's not gonna be, you don't expect 100% return success kung hindi ka all in sa
yeah.
goal.
Yeah, you have to be all in.
Mm.
These people that I've congratulated today, they were all in. I know them.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And nabibiyayaan ka. So, nasa Singapore ka na, nag-dream ka sa Australia, nag-aral ka ng AMC, you failed 3 times, but you tried until you succeeded, and then you did. Now, you tell us about the process of finding a job. Mahirap, di ba?
Oo, Doc. Yan, ayan na. Parang, again, kaya ako in-emphasize yung review center pa lang, may cost na. Yung exam, may bayad. Dire-diretso na yun. Um, Siguro yung advantage ko lang kasi was that my wife was working
Mm,
and I had savings kahit na meron akong pamilya na sinusuportahan.
mm,
Kaya yun eh, yun yung advantage ko eh. My wife was also working.
mm.
So sa misis ko, maraming salamat,
Anong pangalan niya ulit?
Karen.
Karen.
Oo,
Congratulations, Karen.
oo nga eh. I mean,
May return investment na, Karen.
ang gaganda ng mga return of investment niya, Doc. Kung alam mo lang, ayoko na lang mention dito. Just I
Oo,
look
secret na
like,
yun. Surprise, surprise pagdating niya.
ang ganda ng mga return of investment nun. Anyway, yun lang kasi yung advantage ko. Kaya yung transition ko, kung kailangan kong paggastusan, nakakapaglabas ako. Pero
Mm.
syempre, di talaga siya madali kasi nagbayad ka ng visa, nagbayad ka ng flight, nagbayad ka ng accommodation, magbabayad ka ng ang daming babayaran.
APRA registration,
APRA registration and it's
English exam,
PTE, yes, the English exam. So hindi siya madali kasi
Epic portfolio.
yun din. But, again, I'd like to thank nga yung FB page na tinayo nila Doc Nick Tal, nila Doc Mark. That page has been very helpful. Again, I cannot emphasize how thankful I am to that group. Marami rin ako nakausap doon. Even, when you move to Australia, it's very competitive in the rental market.
Yes, I told you that.
Doc, talagang they were serious about it. And the process, Filipino doctor, si Doktora Christine, limutan ko yung last name, but thank you to her as well. She led me to a relocation agent.
Mm.
Again, labas na naman ako ng pera. Pero that
Mm.
made sure na when
Pagdating mo, meron ka na. Nag-cut ka. Oo, nag-freeze
I
ka.
got here, I had na, so I didn't have to, yeah. Oh. Merong isang message kanina, Doc. We want to,
Any tips daw? How did you apply? Any tips for applying for jobs after AMC1? So, yun ang maraming interesado kasi may mga iba dyan naka AMC1 na and 2.
okay, CV. Yung CV. Kasi, iba, ang lagi ko sinasabi sa group was that if you have passed AMC1, asikasuhin nyo na yung PTE or your
Mm,
OET or your IELTS.
mm, mm,
So that those are the two primary components na titignan nila sa CV eh. aside from your job qualifications. So, when you have a CV, tinitingnan ko rin naman yung CV. I just
mm,
compare it with mine.
mm,
And pansin ko yung mga CV ng iba, medyo ang daming laman. You have to declutter your curriculum vitae. Kasi they have, they just want to see immediately what your qualifications are.
mm,
Ang una nagpasa sa akin ng CV sample was Dr. Chris Cortez. Ginaya ko yung format niya. I made it simpler. And this was in accordance to dun sa
mm,
AFRA format. And then, di syempre may CV ka na, pasado ka ng PT, it's all done. Okay. After nun, ang ginamit ko na platform was seek.com.
mm,
And ang keywords ko lagi, nilalagay ko yung IMG.
mm,
Tapos, ang hahanapin mo sa qualifications is yung AMC cleared. Ano nga ulit yung term? There's a term. This was mentioned in the group chat before about which job postings are you.
Limited registration, sabi nila.
Oh,
Tama ba
yun,
po?
yan. Yeah. Correct. Eligible
Eligible
for
for
limited
limited registration.
registration. Correct. Thank you, Doc Krisha, Doc PJ. Yep, that's the one. So, look for that. And then, minsan, hanapan nyo rin ng keyword na IMG. No? Actually, kanina may nag-send sa akin yung friend ko sa Sydney, si Doc Marlies Bosch, Pinson. Meron siyang, i-send ko rin sa group mamaya. Makakako, pwede sa inyo.
Mm,
Queensland, ang ganda doon. Anyway, eligible for limited registration. Yeah, that's basically us Filipinos who took AMC Part 1, who's taken an English exam, and if you're from the Philippines, yeah, you can be a candidate.
Ayan, Grace ha, nakikinig ka, naririnig mo lahat yan ha, Grace. Shout out to Grace.
Hello, Grace. Hi.
Napakilala ko siya sa'yo. She needs your help.
Of course, if you need help, you want help, you ask for it, we'll give it to you. Sige. Yeah. Grace
Ayan,
Nicolas. Hi.
yan. Kasi kailangan niya ng tulong sa CV rin.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Huwag
may
mo na ako
message ka
i-sir.
niya.
Mag-message na po ako sa inyo. Thank you. Sige. Sige lang.
Ayan.
Yung mga nagme-message naman sa akin na I try to answer
Mm.
as much as
Lalo
possible.
na day off ka ngayon at bukas.
No, minsan nga Dok, tinatawagan ko pa eh.
Mm.
Hmm. Para lang diretso na yung usapan.
Oo.
And
Mahirap din mag-text eh, no?
no.
Humahaba ang text eh.
Hmm. And then actually, the past few months,
Naputol ka.
meron akong mga nakakausap na doktor. For example, si doctors have passed AMC Part 1,
Mm.
but um, they're planning to start a job in Singapore. So you can try that approach. I mean, hindi ka naman entirely talo. Mas pataas ang SGD sa AUD at the moment. Nagtrabaho ka ng Singapore for 1 year, 2 years. And then, yun nga, sabi nung agent na nag-hire sa akin, you just need 1 to 2 years of a Commonwealth country medical healthcare experience. It can add, you can add that to your resume and you can actually apply to Australia. So those two doctors are taking that advice. They'll be moving in December to
Very good.
Singapore.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to them as well. Um, Sabi ko lang sa kanila na nakakapagod doon. Pero alam mo yun, don't take too long. Huwag kayong masyadong maging komportable kasi hindi siya bansa na pang-retire.
No.
Sobrang the elderly are working very hard over there just to
Mm,
be able to
mm,
pay for their expenses as well. So it's an expensive country. It pays good money, but it's just not for retirement.
mm.
It's also one of the reasons, yeah, why I wanted to move to Australia.
Very good. Now, dumating ka na, nakakuha ka na ng job offer sandali, before that, interview, selection criteria. Maraming question about selection criteria when you applied for the job. Mahirap bang selection criteria? Pwede ka ba
Yun nga,
nilang tanungin about selection criteria when you were applying?
yun nga, Dok, ang pinagtatakan ko eh. Kasi I never had a real interview with them.
Wow.
It was through the agent. Then, hintay ako nang hintay. Sabi sa akin nung recruitment agent, parang nagli-liaise na lang siya with the medical workforce.
Mm.
And then wala bang interview? Hindi ba ako tatawagan? Hindi ba ako tatanungin? Kasi ako may mga tanong ako sa kanila.
Oo nga.
Eh, di
Yung
ba?
mga relocation fee, etc., etc.
Ngayon
So,
pa,
ibig sabihin, you probably nailed your CV. You probably nailed your application and answered the selection criteria. So maybe Chris, Bell can help other guide people about selection criteria kasi madugo ang selection criteria nila eh, na sasagutin mo.
oo nga, may pinasagot sa akin, pero wala, sinagutan ko na lang, tapos ayun din, kaya kausap ko yung mga doktor na umalis din, na nagpunta from Singapore to Australia. Paano mo ginawa yung selection criteria mo? Can I see? Oh, then, okay, alam na. And just, what would you do in this situation? What do you do in that situation? Kind of essay. Di Miss Universe reply. Diba? Ganun na lang. Para, anong gagawin? Kunyari, toxic yung situation. In an event of multiple calls for certain inpatient complaints, normally I would triage who is about to die, then who's the most critical one? Go to that one first. In my eyes, I would say my mindset on a busy night when I'm on a shift or on call is that to make sure that the night ends and that the sun rises, that all my patients are alive. So you just basically go for the critical ones.
Mm, mm, mm.
Bahala na magalit yung mga buhay pa. Ba't ngayon ka lang dumating? Meron po kasing namamatay. Liwanag mo na lang na gano'n, maintindihan nila yon. Pero minsan kasi kausap mo, may demensya eh. Kaya,
Oo. Mm.
hayaan mo na, magalit talaga sila. Pero at least, galit sila, alam mo, buhay sila. So, yun lang naman yung ano ko. Ganun yung style ng pag-answer ng selection criteria.
Okay.
Give a
So
practical.
may tanong.
Hmm.
Ah, is it hi Doc, many of the job listings are done through recruitment agents. Do you advise working with them instead of applying to hospitals directly?
Alam mo,
Ang
yun
answer
nga,
ko, both.
try to cover as much areas as you can, di ba? Kasi
Yeah.
sometimes you'll be lucky with the recruiter from the hospital.
Kasi
But
meron silang sariling recruiter, 'di ba?
oo.
May
Mm,
sarili silang agent eh. Sila ang mag-aasikaso ng lahat, pati APRA mo.
oo. So, I mean, pasa ka lang ng pasa. Basta nandun ka, pasok ka dun sa job scope na eligible for limited registration.
Mm,
Kay agent pa yun, no? Kay recruiter ng hospital, yung employed recruiter ng hospital, send it.
mm.
There's no hard rule eh. Merong oo sa'yo eventually.
Very good. At saka kung sa'yo, ikaw, hindi ka na nga in-interview, ibig sabihin talagang that job is meant for you.
Sana nga. Pero ano, Doc, going to the job, going
Mm,
to the hospital,
mm.
maganda yung Sir Charles Gairdner because it's a teaching hospital. They are very
Yes.
supportive of teaching. And I really saw hindi ko, I mean, siyempre nakakaya kung pupunta ka doon na medyo hindi mo alam yung way mo. Expected ko na yun kasi pagka pumasok ka ng ospital, kailangan alam mo yung user interface ng Doc Risha, nakikinig ka, ito pakinggan mo. So when you start working in a hospital, the most important thing is that um, alam mo kung saan yung posting mo at sino mga titignan mo dun sa post mo. And normally you'll have a setup that you have the computer system, the Citrix. That's how you generate your patient lists. Okay? And within that user interface, tawag nila dito ang mga documents ng mga previous discharges, results, previous referrals. And then, basically, pag tinignan mo yung computer, titignan mo yung chart ng pasyente, where the initial admission notes were, where the notes are, and then merong separate chart where the vital signs are, yung OBS, ang tawag nila OBS medication, which is a different way of charting. Meron silang mga box, cross, dates, hours. It's confusing, so you have to learn that as well. And then, marami silang forms. So that can be overwhelming on your first. Nag Singapore ako, that's how, yeah, kapag RMO ba doc, rotation sa lahat ng department, yes, you will rotate. But generally, one of the important things that you need to understand is how to use yung electronic records doon, yung iSoft. So, yeah, know your department or rotation. Pero when once you're there in your department, kailangan mabilisan din yung pag-intindi mo ng pasyente.
May tanong.
So kaya ako ini-emphasize nun sa MCQ session na pag binasa natin yung question, chronic kidney disease, on atrial fibrillation, on warfarin, came in with hematemesis, ambulance. Pagka no regular day, lagi merong endorsement, may handover. Kailangan ma-summarize mo yung kwento ng pasyente. And for you to be able to do that, you have to know your way around the computer. Aside from knowing who your patients are, or so to be able to end the day well, kailangan ma-navigate mo muna yung computer para ma-navigate mo rin yung pasyente pag nakita mo na. And that will make your life a little bit easier for every rotation. Kasi,
and give yourself grace na you will be overwhelmed, but
yeah,
you basta focus lang, just be patient with yourself, learn. Do not hesitate to ask questions because every staff member na mamimit mo naman are very helpful. IT
yes,
personnel, nurses, receptionist or whoever nasa sa ward clerk, lahat naman sila. Tsaka mga senior registrar or mga fellows or mga consultant, always ask question. Because at the end of the day, you're under their supervision. Your mistake is their mistake, right? And your
yeah,
only goal is to become a safe doctor.
yes.
That's your one and only goal. If you
Yeah.
don't know, ask question.
That's the primary sign that you are more concerned with safety.
Yes, and that's what you will answer in your interview if there is something like that
Diba?
in your interview.
Pag di mo alam, talagang di mo alam, hindi ka naman pagagalitan gaya ng ginagawa
Mm.
nila sa Pilipinas.
Mm.
Magagalitan ka dahil di mo alam. Pag hindi mo alam, tutulungan ka nila. Kasi
Yes,
ayaw nilang magkamali ka
100%.
at ayaw nilang mapahamak yung pasyente.
100%.
Okay?
Because
Ganun.
nag-train din ako sa Charlie's for how many years? Yun yung first
Yes.
training hospital ko. Diyon din ako nag-breast fellowship. So, I really know the system. So, merong tanong, good evening, Doc. Currently moonlighting here sa Philippines and relate to how underpaid we and BIR targets as docs. I also plan to work in Singapore as a stepping stone to earn for my exams. How do us GPs here apply? Is there a specific criteria when we apply for X 2 years experience? Ito ba, ang tanong yata niya, Singapore, ano?
Interested ka sa...
Singapore muna daw. Mag-iipon muna yata.
Pwede naman. Paki, paki-PM ako, Doc, sa ano, sa Facebook.
Mm.
Edwin Baniqued. Doon tayo mag-usap. I see. I am in Brisbane as well and really hoping to stay in Queensland. Best to just apply in Queensland muna.
Apply all over the state.
Yeah.
And Australia. Kung saan may opening.
Kasi ang hanapin naman nila sa curriculum vitae mo is that na nakaapak ka na dito, alam
Mas
mo na
malaki.
yung
May edge ka
trabaho,
na eh.
edge na yun. So if you get a job offer, take it.
Mm.
Diba? Kahit sa ang state. Although ako noon, parang pag binigyan ako ng Darwin, hindi na lang. Ako, Doc, what can you say
Hindi
about
pa ako
that?
nakakapuntang Darwin. Pero kung kailangan nila ng doktor at may opening, I will apply. I will do everything in my power to step in Australia. Kahit saan
Yeah.
pa ako, kahit saan pa akong lublob ng Australia ilagay, I will say yes. Kung yun, if that's the only way for me to come to Australia, because you can move after that. You have the option to move. Pag napasa mo na AMC2 mo, you know, di ba? You have the option to move somewhere else kung may opening.
Saka pala, now that you mentioned yung AMC Part 2,
Mm.
sa Charlie's, they do, merong rotation na, yun nga, sabi ko, merong bedside teaching yung consultant. And just to let you know, guys, I'm going to look into this book, Tally O'Connor, Physical Exam. Ewan ko, sa atin kasi sa Pilipinas, nung araw, Bates.
Master Bates.
Master Bates. Diba? Si Master Bates. Si Bates Physical Exam. Dito, Tally O'Connor, ay yung libro na gamit nila for physical exam. And yun nga, pinag-uusapan namin nung advanced physician training na reg ko. Kasi minsan kasama siya sa testing. So, kung gusto ko nang mag-aral ng paano yung Australian process ng pag-PE,
Mm.
that's the book to read.
Mm.
So, for those going for clinicals, I'm gonna get a copy soon of that book na I'm gonna see how it is and then kasi napag-usapan namin most likely kung paano yung clinical exam nila sa AMC Part 2 may not be it may be similar to how they do it dun sa mga basic physician training clinical exams nila. More or less the same. No? Kaya pagka naghanap din ako ng information doon for everyone. So, hopefully ma-share ko rin dun sa iba.
So, ano mga challenges mo nung lumipat ka na dito sa Perth? Number one, madugo, mag-relocate, di ba? Busy ka kasi iniwan mo family mo at the moment sa Singapore. Still in Singapore, di ba? So, you have many sacrifices because
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
now separated with your family, di ba? So,
Yeah.
anong mga challenges that you're navigating and trying to overcome at the moment?
May time na na feel ko yung helplessness
Hmm.
na may trabaho ko ng Sabado. Apparently, wala palang bus.
Every 1 hour meron.
1 hour, Doc, eh. Hindi, ang usual ko, ang mindset ko noon, public transport, even on a Saturday, Sunday, it was like Singapore, it still runs like every
Ah,
15 to 20 minutes. Apparently dito, walang bus, every 1 hour. Edi, sabi
teka,
ko,
wala bang free bus from Charles to Subiaco?
wala, Doc. Eh, parang iniisip ko kasi noon, dadaan na yung bus eh. Doon ako sa may Rockby Road
Lucky Bay
Street,
Road, yeah.
Rockby Road.
Nasa main road ka?
Yun, yung 97, hindi, I mean, nilalakad ko papunta doon.
Oo,
So
oo.
yung bus 97, mabilis, madalas naman siya on a regular
Mm.
day. Hindi ko na, it just slipped my mind na ano. So,
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday,
Bihira ang
Sunday.
bus.
Kung alam ko lang pala na ganun, binike ko na sana hanggang,
Oo nga.
kahit na napahiya tuloy ako dun
Ilang,
sa consultant.
ilang minuto lang naman ang bike from, nag-bike ka na ba to work?
Hindi pa, Dok. Baka
Pero,
bukas, hindi ko.
ah,
Hindi ko pa naiikot yung Kings Park eh.
oo. Iyon ang maganda. Maraming cyclists dyan every Saturday. They usually start at 6. Busy na yan by 7 and 8.
Hmm.
Kasi yan, cyclist galore dyan pagka Kings Park, lalo na sa
Oo, Dok.
weekend.
Kaya yung misis ko, nagagalit sa akin kasi ang dami kong sinip. 4 na bike yung sinip ko eh. Dalawang parang Brompton, isang gravel bike, isang road bike pa. Aside from yung sinabay ko sa airport, yung nasa
Wow.
picture ko lagi. Hindi niya alam, isang benta ko lang nun, baka kung anong luxury bag na mabigay ko sa kanya. So wala lang, I mean, ship ko na kasi may value. Ang daming nagbibisikleta dito eh.
Yeah.
Diba? I mean, there's a high demand for bikes here. Eh,
Yeah.
yung selection ng bikes sa Singapore, mas maganda kaysa dito. So, parang daling ko na, ship ko na kaysa ibenta ko sa Singapore. May mga bibili nun. Kaya, hinayaan ko na
Mm.
lang.
Kaya may intention talaga ako mag-bike bukas. Kaya lang nagkataon nga na merong conflict dahil maghahatid ako ng anak sa school. So, probably next week. Okay, let's see how we go. We'll keep
No,
in touch about the
ilang,
cycling.
ilang kilometers ba target mo, Dok?
Depende kasi I haven't been on my bike since 2019, 2020. Tagal na. Since
Ah,
2020. So, I would need to start short muna.
okay.
So, muna,
Tama.
leisure bike muna.
Leisure ba?
Ano lang, anong tawag doon? Sightseeing muna.
Naano rin ako kasi dito, Dok, yung mga bike path, parang,
Very safe. You can go anywhere.
oh yeah, yeah. Meron lang times na, ano ba, ang lamig nung ano eh, ang lamig nung hangin.
Malamig, pero after 5 minutes, papawisan ka na.
Nung una kong punta, parang ang lamig pa rin eh.
October ka dumating eh. Medyo malamig. Ngayon, mainit na. Nagte-20 plus na tayo. So now is a good time
Ah,
to bike. So if you can bike tomorrow, it's gonna be beautiful for sure. Yeah. So may mga tanong. Nasa na tayo?
yeah.
As for my appointment kasi dito. Kim, I see. I'm in Brisbane. Nasagot na natin yan. The best.
Ano, sir, with the limited range that you had, what role did you apply for?
Yeah.
Before registrar, unaccredited trainee. Ang dami nila, this is the thing about Australia, no? Ang dami nilang titles.
Hmm.
Pero honestly, pagka kunyari in my case, dahil hindi naman ako Australian citizen, hindi ako nag-aral doon. Usually, usually, bibigay nila sa akin yung mga ganun eh. Service registrar, unaccredited trainee, um, basta nandun ka sa category na service, empleyado ka, hindi ka trainee. So, most likely, ganun ang bigay. Ngayon, doesn't matter kung service or trainee ka. What matters is yung kung medical officer ka, intern or reg.
So
Yung
definitely hindi
registrar,
sila intern. So hindi sila mag-apply ng intern kasi ang intern
MOR,
are there,
resident,
oo. Yung
resident
mga intern
medical
is from
officer.
here. Mga
Mm.
local trainees yun. Resident medical officer is the next step for them after internship.
Mm.
While they are trying to navigate which specialty they want, or they're just trying to get experience, years of experience to be RMO 1, 2, 3, before they can get into a specialist training program, because it's hard. There's limited slots to get into a specialist training program here.
Mm.
So generally, usually 8 slots per department, per department or per state ang available for them. So ibig sabihin nagko-compete ka talaga for a specialty training position dito sa
Mm.
Australia. So most likely ang inaano mo, ang ginugol mo is to apply for a general registration or a limited registration or an accredited registrar position. I don't know whether you can get into our RMO, but I think you can as a stepping stone, pero it's gonna be challenging. Most likely unaccredited, because that's what I also did. Unaccredited trainee or unaccredited registrar. But it's like senior registrar or general registrar position, pwede mong applyin. But at the end of the day, whatever is available, apply lang ng apply.
Mahirap din naman yung, for example, yung mabigyan ka ng mabigat na posisyon. Yung registrar, mabigat siya, to
Mm.
be honest. Nagkataon lang na nagtapang ako ng konti kasi na-experience ko na siya sa Singapore.
Yeah, you have already the background
Pero siyempre nakakatakot kasi nasa
system.
bagong kulturo ako, bagong system. I mean, alam ko yung, ano ko, yung ceiling.
Mm,
At ko rin yung baseline ko, limits ko as a
mm,
registrar.
mm.
Ngayon, ang maganda dito I mean, if you want to be a registrar, be ready to have
Harder job.
uh, a stronger will for clinical judgment and decisions. Okay? I mean, yeah, the pay is higher. That's good. That's nice. Pero the responsibilities can be a bit tough.
Mm,
Kasi, like for example, hindi ko pa kabisado yung mga goals of care. That's what they call it here. And meron pang, let's say, yung advanced directive, advanced care plan. Um, for example, may mga pasyente na terminally ill na ayaw na ng family i-treat. Medyo nakakalito pa rin yung goals of care definitions for me. So, lahat ng intern mo nakatingin sa'yo, pamilya nakatingin sa'yo. What do you think, Doc? Should we do this? Should we do that? Walang consultant. Di mo matatawagan basta-basta. Ayaw mo magmukhang wala kang alam. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na bagong salta lang ako dito eh. They might lose their confidence and, ruin the rapport. So, kailangan mo talagang magtanong. Pag kumuha ka ng trabaho na registrar, mataas yung responsibilidad mo, be ready to ask a lot of questions.
mm,
And that's where your level of maturity comes in na dapat, pag di mo alam, talaga di mo alam, huwag mo alamin. And be
mm.
honest with the patient. Sorry, I
Yeah,
really don't know. I'm gonna ask my consultant, we're gonna talk about it. I'll get back to you on it.
that's
Okay?
very good. That's very brave. It's hard to do that when you're in the Philippines, but it is acceptable here in Australia.
Yes. Yes. It's very hard to do that in the Philippines. Recorded to, Doc, di ba? Yung kultura na hindi mo alam, ba't di mo alam? Yung gaganunin ka, hindi nila gagawin yon dito. Even a friend of mine from Sydney says na bawal mambuli. ng trainee dito, bawal mambully ng emo, bawal mambully ng intern. There is no bullying here. Okay?
Kung
So
meron
yung
man, very, very rare.
very, very rare. I mean,
Pwede
siguro
mong i-report.
talaga. Pwede mo rin report. No? Dito, nung nagtrabaho ako dun sa General Medicine Ward, kay intern, kay resident medical officer, kay registrar din, wala kaming, hindi kami nagpapataasan ng ihi. What we do is that we make sure that everything is accounted for, all the patient's tasks. Sige, gawin mo yung discharge. Hindi pa nalalagyan ng IV line yun. Ako nang gagawa. Mahirap gumawa ng IV line nun. Tawagan mo na yung yung registrar ng gastro, tanong mo kung kailan sila mag-endoscopy. Tapos mamaya ako naman yung gagawa ng letter ng nung hinihingi ng pasyente. Just it doesn't have to be always na ito yung rango ko hanggang dun lang ako gagawa. Kayo na gumawa ng dirty job. Ako yung clinical decision, ako yung boss. It's not like that here. So you have to work as a team.
Walang hierarchy. Walang Americanized hierarchy.
Yeah. So,
First
when
name
I
basis
felt,
nga, di ba?
first name basis, biruin mo, parang out, yung force of habit na Filipino culture ko na doc, ginagawa ko pa rin siya dito.
Mm.
Pero parang nakikita ko yung mga bata, ang tawag nila dun sa mga head, first name. Yung mga bossing, tawag nila first name. Parang
Yes.
nahihiya pa rin ako. Nilalagyan ko ng doc, doctor. So, I mean, kung ganun sila talaga dito, edi ayos, di ba? I mean,
Mm.
pero you should set your boundaries, set your know when to be courteous and polite. I mean, boss is boss. It's just that they want you to feel
Still
that you can
show
freely speak.
respect. Still show
Yeah,
respect, obviously.
give due respect.
Yeah. Okay, meron pang mga question akong na-miss. So nakwento mo na yung journey mo from the Philippines, dumating ka sa Singapore, dumating ka sa Australia, mga challenges. I think this is a great achievement for you coming here, and you're doing brilliantly, and you're helping more people to, sa mga AMC exam. So next step for you is AMC2, right? What's next for you?
Yun nga, Doc, when I ask around, you have two options. You can take AMC Part 2 to get general registration, but I have been learning from others na you can get general registration, no, for you to get the full general registration, kailangan mo pa rin ng rotation sa ED at saka general surgery. Merong
Oo,
particular na
meron yung nagsabi sa akin, yung nasa Adelaide, for you to get general registration, you need to at least rotate in different departments for the meantime. Para ma-accredit ka yata to get the general registration. I'll try to connect you to them so you can ask more question about it. Kasi pagka nakuha mo na yung general registration, that's the time you can apply for PR.
Pero apparently, like for example, si Doc Lily Dakay, siya yung living proof na hindi mo na kailangan mag-general
Ang galing naman.
registration para makakuha ng PR.
Ang galing.
So, confirmed na yon, no? So, yung dating bali-balita na kailangan mo mag-gen-reg muna bago ka mabigyan ng PR, that's no longer the case now.
Wonderful.
And she has shown me the letter. So that situation actually exists. It's possible for everyone. So yung mga pumasa at makakaapak na ng Australia, please work hard. So pag makakuha na kayo ng trabaho, kung anong bigay sa inyo, kunin nyo na. Kasi habang ganun yung sitwasyon at hindi na nila ibabalik yung kailangan general registration ka bago ka makapag-PR. The news about that trend is starting to get better and better. Meron ng ano may pinakita sa akin si Dr. Chris Cortez, something about age limit, parang for healthcare workers. So, pati doktor, parang natanggal na yung age limit ng 45?
Walang age limit. Walang age
Wala na.
limit sa mga doktor. Kasi yun ang mga na-meet kong tao after 45 dun sila nakakuha ng ano.
Kasi that would be really great news. Yung for example, dun sa November takers, meron dun isa close to 45 na eh. So that would
Wala
be
age
good
limit.
news for.
I don't know anyone who needs to, yeah.
So
Pero
right,
i-check natin, pero kasi may mga kilala na ako na they got their PR after 45.
wow.
Yeah. I'm sure it's Doc Martin.
Buti na lang 35 lang ako.
May nagtanong, are you thinking po, Doc, to proceed with general registration via AMC or work-based assessment?
Ayun nga 50-50 yung mga tinanungan ko. Pag Pilipino, sabi nila go WBA.
Mm.
Meron na dito I saw one posting rocking.
Meron ako nakita nga.
Ba,
Sa
Doc?
Banbury.
O, Bonbury. Pero ang concern ko doon was siguro may tendency yung malayo kasi yung WBA eh. Di ba? Malalayo yung ano.
It doesn't
Medyo,
matter. It's still good. It's good experience.
Doc,
You will be exposed to more mga experiences mo sa remote. Maganda rin. At mas magandang mag-bike doon. Mas safe.
talaga.
Maganda sa Banbury. Tumira ako doon. I worked there too. Maraming Pilipino doon. It's a big
Talaga, Doc.
community.
Bale, pag pinag-aaralan mo pa, kasi
Sarilin mo muna what works for you. Tapos may nagtatanong ulit. Hi, Dog. With regards to bringing your family there, will you bring them soon as possible, or are you still gonna wait for PR?
so yung visa na binigay sa akin ng hospital was TSS, kasama pamilya doon.
Amazing.
So, kasama anak ko, kasama yung misis ko. Ang hindi ko lang pwedeng isama, yung mother-in-law ko. Pero ituturist namin siya.
Oh, well, you can do it. Everyone has been doing that. That's what I did for my kids. I had my in-laws and my mom for 1 year. Doon kasi pwede sila mabigyan ng 1 year visa as tourist. Tapos they stay here for 1 year, and then nagsasalitan lang 1 year mom ko tsaka in-laws ko noon for 9 years, looking after my kids while I was studying for the exam and doing the on-calls, yung mga duty. Tapos, ngayon na iba, may 1 year visa, but every 3 months, you have to go out of the country and then come back.
Come back, no?
I think that's the new rule. Kasi every year, nag-iiba ang rule nila eh.
Mm.
So, yun.
Meron tanong, fee ang WBA, meron po ba? Yeah, may fee.
Hindi ko na alam sagutin yan. Hindi ko alam yan.
Merong fee. If you want to know how much, we can ask Doc Lily Dakay. Siya yung kilala ko nag-WBA.
Ayan, sinasagot na ni Bell. Chrissy Bell. Ayan, nasagot na niya. Kailangan may
Mukhang
fee.
papautangin ako ni Doc Crisabel ng pang WBA.
Dito sa PERT, Doc, dapat may contract ka na sa missing hospital that you can apply for WBA. They have a program din regarding sa payment.
Installment.
That's very good. Very good. So, words of wisdom. Before we wrap up, words of wisdom.
Ang
Top
dami ko
3.
ng words of wisdom kanina
Summarize mo, top 3 lang.
Top 3? Yun na rin yung ginagamit ko since nung med school Pagpasa ng med boards, pagpasa ng internal medicine boards. If you picture yourself in that scenario, that's what you've always wanted. Kasi itong Australia was something that I pictured every day.
Wow. Manifestation,
Yes.
visualization.
I mean,
I
baduy
agree.
man,
And
pero totoo talaga siya, Dok, eh.
I agree, 100%.
Di ba? I mean, nung nag-take ako ng board exam ko sa medicine, visualize ko yun. Nung nag-take ako ng internal medicine, visualize ko yun. Yung mga finil kong exam, parang half-hearted yung visualization ko eh. Pero itong Australia, talagang visualize ko na kasi ito talaga yung gusto namin mag-asawa.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't feel, I wasn't really feeling comfortable where I was at the moment. No, Singapore was not, it didn't feel like it was my final place.
Mm,
I
mm,
didn't feel like I was gonna die there or grow old there.
mm.
No, and for the past how many weeks na after a tiring day, kasi minutes away lang ako sa beach, I would go to the beach. Kanina galing akong City Beach.
Uy, ang lapit ko lang dun ha, 5K lang ako. Playground ko kaya yun.
Ang
Dun ako nagra-running.
ang
Ang
ano
ganda
Dok,
'no?
ang alam mo yung it's as if you're in Tagaytay, but instead of seeing Taal, you see Boracay. Ganun
Hindi pa
pakiramdam.
nakapunta ka kasi ng Cottesloe pero hindi mo nakita na flat siya nung nagpunta ka nung Cottesloe? Nung
Medyo may alon, pero gusto ko makita yung walang alon.
so, once or twice a week, I go to Cottesloe Beach. I was there this morning. So,
Mm.
as an aspiring swimmer, I started doing swimming lessons here in Perth after ko pinanganak yung anak kong pangalawa kong anak. So, I was doing that, and now after 10 years of swimming, I do open water swims. So, I do races. So, I'm Cottesloe Beach. Yung kanto nun is Forest Street. 1 kilometer up that street is my work, yung women's and breast imaging. So, malapit lang talaga siya sa work. So, I I'm intentionally going there once or twice a week before work para yun na yung aking me time,
Diba?
self-love, at saka exercise,
Yun na
swimming.
yung parang umupo ka lang dun, masaya ka na eh.
Actually, umupo lang ako doon, open ko, journal ko, I write my gratitude, my blessing,
Ah,
counting my blessings. Lalo na pag flat siya, oh my God. I feel like the best time to go is now kasi most of the time flat siya, tsaka meron siyang shark net. So, I swim inside the shark net at tsaka masaya siya lalo na pagka weekends, ang daming tao, mga kids are playing there. It is our mini Boracay. It is a place
it is
where
really
my happy
nice.
place. It's my happy place. So I've been going there almost every Monday pagka day off ko. At saka kanina I was there swimming. Kahit konti lang mga nagsiswimming, nag-swim pa rin ako. I'm very, very happy. So
Yeah,
maraming nagpapasalamat sa'yo.
well, ako nagpapasalamat din sa kanila kasi
Engaging sila.
gusto ko lang na, I mean, everybody should know their own capacity, their own potential.
Self-belief.
And it's just sometimes you're all just too bottled up and you're stuck in your shell. Get out of your shell. You
Yeah.
know, the fear is there. I mean, we face fear every day. I mean, in the past few weeks, bago ko pumasok, dahil hindi ko kilala yung pasyente, kabado ako eh. Pero, alam mo yun, nagising ako ng alas 5, ang pasok ko alas 8. I'm afraid every day. But, soon as I enter the hospital, bahala na. Game face, same thing. Read the patient, create your problem list. Meron ka ng proseso ng pag-iisip.
Mm.
then you'll always be, you'll always be the doctor that you were meant to be. We solve patients and their problems. Then, I mean, if you've been a doctor for a certain period of time, you know what to do. It's just that you have to get to know your patient better, and you have to believe na, alam mo yung matatandaan mo lahat ng binasa mo noon sa med school, you still are a doctor, you know how you're going to treat this patient. Probably you just need a little bit of courage to get up and just go. Mahirap yung trabaho sa ospital, pero just go. Same way that we do the exam. Mahirap mag-aral for an exam, just read. Okay? And mararamdaman nyo naman dun sa ospital na people will help you. Yeah, it's not like the Philippines na bahala ka sa buhay mo, di mo alam. Di mo alam yung ginagawa mo. Huwag ka na magtrabaho dito. Hindi ganun dito.
Demoralizing ang
Yeah,
unfortunately, demoralizing sila.
yeah.
But
Demoralizing.
what I love about consultants here, kahit nagaano ka professor pa sila, kahit nagaano ka retirable na sila, they are so down to earth and humble, and they are always willing to help and teach. You just
Yes.
only need to ask.
Ay para akong bumalik ulit ng med school nung pumasok ako ng Sir Charles Gairdner. Tuwan-tuwa ako kasi feeling ko estudyante ako ulit. No, I mean, normally parang ayaw mo nang pumasok ng ospital kasi toxic culture, toxic environment. It was the other way around when I joined the hospital. So again, mag-aaral kayo maigi, tuloy nyo lang yan, visualize yourself, fail if you have to, but at some point you will succeed. I mean, kinuwento ko na yung buhay ko, ang dami na nakakaalam. So, I mean, malamang kayo ganun din eh. So, just have to keep making your story and making all your goals come true. Okay?
And you're
Yeah.
still having more dreams. And
Yeah.
any regrets?
Regrets?
Now
Sana
you're
noon
here
pa
in
ako
Australia?
nag-exam.
Oo nga, no?
Diba,
Sana
no?
naman, ano.
10 taon din yung ano ko doon eh. Parang, well, I mean, I have to be, pag provider ka, kailangan talagang maraming sinusuportahan eh.
Mm.
So, yun lang.
Wonderful. Oh, thank you. You're so
Maraming salamat din.
inspiring. We're so grateful that you really shared your story.
Yes,
Maraming
po.
nakarelate sa'yo for sure. Maraming nakaka-relate sa iyo kasi maraming tao nag-AMC1 na and they're struggling to find a job and they are still looking for jobs. Marami ding nakapasa na ng AMC 1 and 2 and they're still looking for jobs. And so talagang maraming tanong, maraming probably doubts and feeling of, yung sa kanilang worth, yung feeling down and depressed. And I'm sure majority of the people who are here are feeling burned out and stressed out na sa current situation nila. That's why they're looking for work-life balance, right? Not really just work-life balance, but also a rewarding, meaning monetarily rewarding life. And yes, Australia, I'm also biased. Western Australia for me is the best. Dito ko pinalaki ang mga anak ko, dito ko na-meet ang asawa ko, Pilipino din. Dito ko pinalaki ang mga anak ko. Nag-aaral din ako, nag-exam din ako noon nung baby pa sila, nung pinanganak sila. It was hard, it was challenging, it was long. It took me 6 years to pass my radiology exam. Ang pathway ko is specialist pathway. I failed many times then, 3 times then, but I have been here for 18 years and I have no regrets. It is what it is, and it meant to happen. It was really my journey, and I'm really happy to share my journey, my story, because I want people to be inspired. I want people to dream big and know that you can do it too because we've done it. Wala akong wine, hindi kita cheers. Pero cheers tayo pag nagkita tayo. We will book our cycling sessions for sure. I just need to dust off the covers ng bike ko and make sure na pahanginan ko muna yung akin basta at saka kailangan ko pa i-charge yung bike ko. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to cycling with you, and thank you. We'll catch up again very soon, hopefully this month. And thank you for everyone for attending and for your engagement. Really appreciate it. Meron pa bang mga questions? Proud of you, Doc. I'll try to save all this chat and I'll send it to you so you can read the other chats na baka na-miss natin. Yes, thank you for everyone. Really appreciate. Watch the space. I'll be doing, thank you. Thank you, Jamie. I will be doing another Zoom meeting interview with another Pinoy doctor. He was one of the first Zoom interview. I think I started this, if not December, January. I have to go back and review that interview. So at that times, ano siya, naghahanap ng work. Now he found work, so he's happy to share that journey. And so watch your space. It is tentatively booked on the 18th. I'm just gonna send the Zoom link invite dun sa Facebook group. So just join us again and have a good evening. Thank you. Enjoy your day off. So, like, nakikita nyo naman na may work-life balance siya dito sa Australia. Like me, I only work 4 days. I don't work on weekends. I only work Tuesday to Friday. Monday is my day off. That's the time I go to the beach. Like you also work may shift ka, which is usually 10 hours, 8 hours shift.
8 hours.
8 hours shift, and then you have some time off, 2 or 3 days, or weekend off, or you work you have your day off today and tomorrow, but you need to work on Saturday and Sunday. But working on Saturday, Sunday is my loading, higher pay. Kaya no problem.
No problem.
No problem because you are well compensated. Actually, generally benign actually pag weekends. So it's all good.
All good.
Okay. Congratulations. Welcome to Perth. All the best. And looking forward to more of your journey. I'm excited to be part of your journey from your Singapore to Australia. I'm really, really grateful that you've shared your journey with us. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Night.
How to save the chat?
O, Doc, sige
Bye.
Bye, good night po.
Save ko muna yung chat.